Hi guys, my name is Charlotte, and on this videos I want to share with you how I prepare for a pop-up event that coming up. I know that I haven't been sharing a lot of recipe lately. It's because I've been busy with setting up the pop-up shops, but the process of doing it is quite rewarding. I enjoy waking up early in the morning before I go to work just to have time to bake or practice. I had a feeling that the next couple of videos is most likely going to be about behind the scenes of my small business. If you live in Minnesota, I have a upcoming event on November 14 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Seed Cafe. If you want to know more about the upcoming pop-up shop, I do post a lot on social media. Alright, enough introductions. I'm gonna share with you what I did and how I prepare for a upcoming pop-up shop. Here is me preparing a croissant dough. I just finished up the first fold. I put it back in the freezer for 20 minutes and start that same process for 2 more times. I used the exact same recipe that I posted on the YouTube channel. I did change a little bit on the technique. What I did differently this time is that after the third fold, instead of by putting back in the freezer and taking back out and start shaping it, I let the third fold rest in the fridge overnight. It is definitely a time-consuming process, but by doing this step, it's allowed the gluten to have time to relax, and that's what makes it easier to roll it out. Good morning. It is the next day. I believe I woke up at 4 a.m. today. I want to make sure that I have enough time to do this before I head to work at 8 a.m. Here are some tips for those who want to have freshly baked croissant every morning. After you're done shaping the croissant, you want to quickly freeze the dough, and once it's frozen, you transfer that into a freezer bag, and when you are ready to bake, you leave that dough out overnight. Then you bake the croissant on 375 Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. I share the croissant recipe on this channel. I highly recommend you take that videos a look if you plan on making croissant at home. What I did here is you take one of the triangle, you elongate the dough, and you start from the bottom. Make sure you roll them very tightly on the bottom and slowly roll it up to the tip of the triangle. And you just repeat the same process until you use up all the dough. For the chocolate croissant, in traditional chocolate croissant, they use something called chocolate baton, and what it is a stick of chocolate that they use in the center of the croissant. But since I couldn't find any of the dairy-free versions, I just use a chocolate chunk. It does work quite well and it tastes delicious, but it can get annoying sometimes, especially when you're making a lot of chocolate croissant and you have to assemble all the chocolate into the dough, and it takes a while. Here are a fun idea that I can share with you. Use the leftover dough to make yourself a kouign-amann. It's very, very delicious. At this time, I believe it was 6:15 a.m. I decided to head to bed and take a 30 minutes power nap before I head to work. And I'll see you guys. It's Friday, a day before the event. I'm just preparing some pastry that does not require a lot of time like croissant. I'm making a puff pastry for apple tart and a Madeleine batter. I would say a puff pastry is like a brother of croissant. It does use similar ingredients except milk and yeast, and the process quite similar except less time consuming. Now I'm just preparing the puff pastry for the apple tart. Then I top the apple off with some butter and a little bit of turbinado sugar. If you are using a silver pan like this for the Madeleine, I highly recommend you butter the pan and dust some flour. Tap out some excess flour and put the pan in the freezer overnight even. This step will help the Madeleine from getting stuck into the pan when it bakes. At this point, I realized that there's a lot of things that still need to get done, so I stopped recording in the kitchen and just trying to get back into my baking schedules. It's around 7 a.m. the day of the pop-up shop. I did not record any more of the baking video at this point. I'm a little bit behind on my baking schedule, so I'm just rushing over to the event. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this videos. I had fun making it, and I hope you find this videos to be informative or at least entertaining. Also, thank you to my friend or a customer or anybody who stopped by at the pop-up shop to show me some support. It's really heartwarming to see someone enjoying the pastry that I made. It's just made me feel like waking up early in the morning at 4 a.m. And spending every minute and every second baking. It's just worth it. So thank you.